Okay, so hi everybody, it's Jeremiah again. Yeah, it's night. It's 23. It's 23 5 p.m. It's 23:05 p.m. So I'm gonna to review what I learned this morning.
Welcome to the Weekend View.
Welcome to the weekend view.
We're talking about how one-third of America is
One-third of America
bracing for the
bracing
ban on TikTok, the
ban
latest Real
TikTok.
Housewife of Beverly Hills scandal that has people taking sides. The Call Her Daddy podcast going deep into how a parent's divorce impacts your dating life. And NFL reporter Aaron Andrews on the pitfalls of oversharing intimate details about your partner. The Weekend View starts now.
Starts now. Let's get started. It starts now. Let's get started. Start now. Hello.
You.
Welcome to the weekend view.
Okay, we have more hot topics.
We have more.
And 100 million Americans on TikTok are about to have a lot more time on their hands because the app could officially be banned in the USA as of Sunday. Do you feel bad? A lot of users are in a panic about where they go from here. Watch.
Where are we going to evacuate to? Like, what's our escape plan and where are we all going to meet up? Because I don't want to lose you bitches and I'm kind of fearful of that.
You're all smart, you're all funny, and you will make a living elsewhere if this party closes. But let's just wait to see what happens first before we get all cracked out, handing over our information.
So how are you all dealing with the loss?
So I'm not personally on TikTok, though the show is. I've got some concerns about the national security aspects of it and the data privacy. But just to give people who are obsessed with the app, love the app, also the millions of creators who make their living on TikTok, a little bit of peace. Trump's incoming national security advisor, Mike Waltz, said that this week that there will be some kind of action taken to protect TikTok or an alternative. So if TikTok itself goes away, another company will create the same platform with the same functionality without the Chinese Communist Party listening to what you're doing and saying and serving you up data.
You
That's bad for
believe
you.
no one's going to listen to that?
Someone else. It'll be us in America.
That's what I think is being lost when we're talking about TikTok, and especially for a certain generation. Like, the Chinese government owns it. And imagine the Chinese government getting into your phone and finding out all sorts of information about financial information, people's phone numbers. I don't have TikTok because of that, because I have those concerns.
Have they done that?
Well, yes,
there's a lot of
data about that. And, even with my children, because I own the phone, I turned that off. They weren't allowed to do it. And they like have breakdowns. Like, these kids were.
It's an addiction.
Yeah, these kids were really upset. Their friends were at our house recently and they were like, where are we going to go? And I was like, to watch television or read a book? Like, I didn't understand.
Or maybe actually have conversations with each other that don't involve sending reels.
Yeah, but I think, to Alyssa's point, apparently people make millions of dollars based on TikTok. So with the cost of living and all the concerns that people are having, I'm a little worried about that.
Yeah, it is. And if you read The Anxious Generation by Jonathan Haidt, it's a huge, like 10 red flags. Everybody should read it. We're losing a generation. When you think of being an 80s or 90s kid, your parent was worried someone walked down the street, someone would take you. We send our kids into the wild west of the dark web, don't understand it, have no regulations on it, and allow people to view whatever they have. You have pedophiles, drugs, you have algorithms, the body confidence, all the different things. Kids are spending an average of 5 hours. Now, an average just American is spending about 2 hours. But
5 hours?
5 hours, and 11 to 17-year-olds are spending 2 hours a day. TikTok. If the problem is it's doing a dopamine hit, so it literally is like sugar, like drugs. We're just putting it right in their hand. It's like handing them a cigarette and drink.
I have a very successful, busy friend, and everything she does is like based on TikTok. The other day, I was in her house. And she had this thing in her hair, and like, what are you doing? Oh, I saw it on the TikTok. She was making a margarita. I'm like, what flavor is that? Oh, I got it off TikTok. I don't know what she's going to do without TikTok. I don't have TikTok. I don't watch TikTok, but apparently I'm on TikTok.
Oh,
yeah.
Brian and I have over 1 million hits on this video. Watch.
They're eating the pets.
Okay, so basically I can send all the information I'm talking about. Now I'm gonna summarize it. The first is about let me see. Oh, and she's a host. I think she probably is a host. Is talking about she started a conversation about ban the TikTok.
Yeah.
Where are we going to
And this video is just from TikTok, and I think it's a creator, and he must be gay, I guess. And he just asked people on where are we going to evacuate and
evacuate to? Like what
evacuate to
escape plan and where are we all gonna meet up? Because I don't want
meet
to lose
up.
you bitches and I'm
So I'm not personally on TikTok.
And so this lady is not on TikTok because she's concerned about the data privacy and because the TikTok it's a Chinese company owns it.
Show is I've said that this week that there will be some kind of app go out the China.
And also, oh yeah, I forgot to mention, and also just she also said about the Trump's administration is trying to do something, maybe just alternative.
Communist Party listening to what you're doing and saying and serving you up down.
That's what I think is like the Chinese government owns it.
And she also talking this lady, and she talk about the Chinese company, the Chinese government probably going to know, and because TikTok is owned by Chinese, and the Chinese government probably can see their phones and the financial information. Like
the Chinese government getting
contact
into
list.
your phone and finding out all sorts of information
Finding out the information
about financial information, people's phone numbers.
people's phone number.
I don't have TikTok because
She doesn't have TikTok because
I have
because she has concerns about it.
Have they done that?
Have they done that?
Oh, yes,
There's a lot of data.
there's a lot of data about that.
Yeah, there's a lot of data about
Even with my children,
yeah, even with her children and she has kids and because of the ban of TikTok, her children's just crying and to her and where they gonna go, and she's just
because I own the phone, I turned that off. They weren't allowed to do it. I didn't understand based on TikTok. So with the cost of living and all the concerns
And she also mentioned about she's concerned about there's a lot of people they're making money on TikTok. Yeah, they're
having, I'm a little worried about that.
she's worried about that.
It is. And if you read The Anxious Generation by Jonathan Haidt, it's a huge, like 10 red flags. Everybody should read it.
10 red flags. Everybody should read it. What's wrong with it, please? Okay, but let me see. Okay, so there's some words actually this morning, this afternoon or morning. I learned. I don't know what's meaning of that from this video. Now I would like to read with ChatGPT. Just figure out with ChatGPT. Hello, ChatGPT.
Hello, Jeremiah. How's your day going so far?
Oh, it's night almost it's almost 12, so before 12 I'll be go sleep. But before I go sleep, I'm gonna to just review some words I had just picked from today what I learned during the from the Wheel show. Did you know the Wheel show?
It's almost bedtime for you then. That's a great idea to review words before you sleep. What words did you pick up from the video show today?
Oh, it's not a video. Yeah, it's a video show, but the show is called The Wheel. The Wheel. Did you know that show?
Ah, The View. Yes, I'm familiar with it. It's a talk show with discussions on various topics. What words did you learn from it today?
Yeah, today their topic is about the ban the TikTok. I don't know if you heard about the news or not.
Yes, I've heard about the discussions around a potential TikTok ban. It's quite a hot topic. Did any particular words or phrases from that segment stand out to you?
Okay, first word is panic, because the US government gonna ban TikTok, and there's so many people they face panic, they don't know, they feel overwhelmed. So panic, did I say that right?
Yes, you said it right. Panic is a common reaction in such situations. Another good word for that feeling is overwhelmed. Great job practicing these. Are there
Okay,
any others
panic.
you'd like to review?
Okay, panic. Okay, so panic. I've accepted TikTok thing. Let me use panic. Make another example. Like don't be feel. Okay, don't be feel panic. Everything will be okay.
That's a great example. It's a reassuring way to use panic. Keep practicing and you'll
How
get
about you make
even more
it? How about
comfortable.
you use make panic make example?
Of course. The sudden noise made him panic, but he quickly calmed down once he realized everything was fine.
Oh
Keep up the
wow,
good work with your
that's great. That's right.
glad.
That's
You're
great.
welcome. Good night, Jeremiah.
I'm not saying good night. Why you're saying good night to me?
Oh, I thought you were heading to bed soon. My
No.
mistake.
Oh, it was okay. So it was okay.
Got it.
Okay.
All right.
Uh,
Feel
okay. So let me
You're
see here.
welcome.
Okay.
Look
Okay.
here.
The sudden noise made him panic, but he quickly calmed down once he realized everything was fine. Okay, let's go example. Okay, let's move on to the next word. It's obsessed. Obsessed is like something very much, right?
Yes, that's correct. Obsessed means you really like or are extremely focused on something. For example, she's obsessed with Korean dramas. Would you like to practice using it in a sentence?
Yeah. So here's my example. I'm obsessed. I'm literally obsessed with the mystery films.
That's a great sentence. It shows how much you enjoy mystery films. Keep it up.
Yeah, I'm saying that right? Do you need to change, maybe slightly change it?
Your sentence is perfect as is. You could say, I'm literally obsessed with mystery films, or I absolutely love mystery films. Both are great.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Keep practicing and have fun with it.
Mm, okay, so let me see. So what you help me refine it. Okay. I'm literally obsessed with the mystery films. I absolutely love mystery films. Okay. So you shouldn't, I mean, because the setting sentence is wrong, you didn't use the obsessed. Okay.
Sure. Another way to say it without using obsessed could be, I can't get enough of mystery films, or I'm really into mystery films.
Hmm. Obsessed with mystery films. But people they say they don't use, there's in teachers she says, people they don't use mystery films. They use the thriller.
That's a good point. Thriller is a more common term for those kinds of movies. So you could say, I'm obsessed with thrillers, or I absolutely love thrillers.
Thrillers. Okay, so the next word is apparent. Apparent, this makes me very confusing about it. Apparent, apparently. Just what's the meaning? Okay, so I can use apparently. Okay, apparently I was applying American visa. Is that right? I'm saying that right?
Apparent can mean clear or obvious. Apparently means as far as one knows, or seemingly. So you might say, apparently I'm applying for an American visa, if it's something that seems to be the case based on what you know. Does that help clarify?
Oh, so could you use apparent make example?
Sure. For example, it was apparent that she was enjoying the movie, means it was obvious she liked it. Or, apparently it's going to rain tomorrow, means it seems that way based on the information you have.
Mm-mm. Okay, so apparently I just noticed I mean, he's a gay, but I'm not sure it. Is that right?
That's, yes, that sounds correct. Keep it up.
Okay, let's go ahead. Let's move on. Next word, apparent. Okay. Oh, this word is kind of like it was a bad word, but let's talk about it. I'll spell it to you, but I don't know how to pronounce it. Pedoph